Hey everybody, it is Tea Time with the Diva. Grab your tea, grab your coffee, because we're going to get into it. This tea time is dedicated to the Diddy trial, and unfortunately, one of the escorts who was named as an escort that came to a freak off with Cassie and Diddy at some point during Cassie and Diddy's time together. Well, this escort also was a reality TV star on the show for Showtime called Gigolos, right? And unfortunately, his life took a turn for the dark side, the very dark side. He is now currently spending time in jail, in prison. I don't know what's the difference between the two. I don't even think I really want to know because I don't want to do either one. But I guess he's in prison, right? Doing like a 20 something year sentence for taking the life of a friend. Listen, let's go ahead and get more into this story. I'm going to share a screen. And as I'm sharing the screen, I will say this. I don't think anything good can ever come out of selling your body and taking chemicals. I'll use the word chemicals, but y'all know what I mean. I don't think anything good can happen after that. I think it's probably some of the worst case scenarios of coping mechanisms you can ever use in your life. I really don't think anybody is like laying in their bed thinking as a child, I want to be an S worker. I want to sell my body for a living and I want to take substances. I think something deeper lies within that needs addressing so that they won't go that path. But unless they realize it, they go that path and they think it's okay to sell their body and to take substances. A reality TV star lost his mind and beat his friend to death. What to know about Ash case and where he is now, nearly 5 years later. Gigolo star Ash pleaded guilty to voluntary manslaughter and mayhem for the 2020 beating of Herleen. Now, I'm gonna say delay, and it's very unfortunate because both of them were taking stuff together, these magic mushrooms, and then unfortunately he lost his mind and he beat her to death. From 2011 to 2016, Showtime's controversial reality show Gigolos portrayed the glamorous, risque lifestyle of five male escorts in Las Vegas. But for 4 years after the last episode aired, one of those escorts was arrested for unaliving a friend. Ash was sentenced to 8 to 20 years in prison after he pleaded guilty to voluntary manslaughter and mayhem for the July 2020 beating death of Herleen, per the Las Vegas Review-Journal. He claimed that she attacked him after they took psychedelic mushrooms together and that he blacked out. He probably had a bad batch. It's very sad. Ash called the police to report her unconscious, and when officers arrived, they wrote in the arrest report that Herleen was obviously deceased. Her official cause of death was blunt force and trauma and strangulation. He lost it. Good gosh. I have never hit a woman in my life, and I certainly never wanted to hurt Herleen, Armand said during his sentencing hearing in December 2021. The Paramount docuseries Sin City Gigolo, which premiered March 4th, revisited the case and interviewed former cast and crew about their experience with Ash. Director Barbara Scherer told TV Insider that though the Gigolo star was guilty, there was a rush to judgment during the initial investigation. What do they mean, rush to judgment? I mean, it is what it is. He did what he did, right? After diving into the case and going down the rabbit hole, there was a rush to judgment, Scherer said. Bottom line is they got the right guy. I'm not in any way saying that didn't happen. We have the right guy, but were corners cut? Yes. Was there a rush to judgment? Yes. So what happened to Ash? Here's everything we to know about the Gigolo star manslaughter case. So that was him during better days, I guess you can say. Ash is a former star of the Showtime reality series Gigolos, who joined the cast in season 3 and was known as the group's Zen master. Oh, yeah, but when he took those mushrooms, he was no longer so zen. On a campaign funding website for his legal defense, Armand was described as a gentle healer, sensitive teacher, and generous friend. The reality star was raised in Maine in Japan and has 2 siblings, per Refinery 29. In a letter to the court, Armand's mom wrote, from when he was a little boy, Ash grew up immersed in the healing traditions and philosophies of the East and the West. Shera told NTV Insider that his upbringing was very unconventional and very open sexually, and it wasn't a big leap for him to get into sex work. See, that's interesting, right? And I bet you if they dive into it, we're not excusing or condoning any of it, but it's an understanding of how that person got there. I bet if we dive into Diddy's upbringing, it was very open sexually, and it wasn't a big leap for him to do these FO parties to the 10th power because allegedly that's all he saw growing up. Armand wrote that he was a sex and fitness educator as well as a father in his Instagram bio. So he has children, which is private. According to Refinery 29, Armand's son was 17 at the time of his arrest. How sad is that? And God only knows what his been at the time, 17-year-old, which would mean this kid is probably in his 20s now, saw in his life with his father being that open the way that he was. It is unclear when exactly Armand got into sex work, but he started working for the agency Cowboys for Angels in 2012 per Refinery 29. And the company's founder, Garon James, got him a spot on Gigolos that year. Armand remained on the show for 4 years until it ended in 2016. May she rest in peace. This is the young lady that unfortunately lost her life, that he lost his mind, blacked out, strangled her, beat her to death, and now she's gone. Herleen was a friend of Armand's, and according to an investigation by Refinery 29, there are conflicting reports about whether or not she was one of his clients. During their friendship, the Las Vegas Review-Journal reported that they started a business together, though the nature of that business is unclear. According to her obituary, she was born in Northern California and graduated from Temple University in Pennsylvania. She led a youth group in Las Vegas and enjoyed working with children. At the time of her murder, she was working as a personal trainer, per TV Insider. She touched every soul, and she touched every soul she came into contact with and left a sparkle, her obituary read. She will be remembered for her twinkling smile, contagious laughter, and comforting hugs. Herleen was 29 years old when she died on July 16, 2020. The night before, she had gone over to Armand's house and the pair had taken psychedelic mushrooms, lit candles, prayed, and watched Avatar. At 10 a.m. the following morning, Armand called 911 and said, "It's going to sound insane because it is insane. There was a struggle. I temporarily lost my mind." Oh my gosh. Paramedics found Armand attempting to do CPR, coached by the 911 operator, as he had told Herleen had experienced a heart attack per Refinery 29. But the first responders did not find evidence of a heart attack. Instead, she had been clearly beaten and blood was splattered around the room. When the police got there, "I'll surrender," Ash told the paramedics, according to the grand jury indictment. Later, Herleen's autopsy found evidence of extreme violence, and her cause of death was determined as blunt force trauma with strangulation as a contributing factor. What was Ash charged with? Her death was ruled a homicide, according to the Clark County Coroner's Office, and Ash was charged with her murder. He later said that he attacked her because she first attacked him. At the trial, her family asked what kind of assault could possibly make the level of violence Ash enacted necessary, per the Las Vegas Review-Journal. In September 2021, he pleaded guilty to felony counts of voluntary manslaughter and mayhem, reportedly to spare her family a trial. Armand was sentenced to 8 to 20 years in prison a few months later. These sentences always confuse me, but I think when they say 8 to 20 years, that means after 8 years, it's a possibility that you could come up for parole. Don't mean that you will get it, but it is a possibility. I believe that's what that means. Why Gigolos was canceled. It's not clear why Gigolos was canceled in 2016, but throughout its 6-season run, the raunchy reality series was met with criticism, especially surrounding its legality. Prostitution has been legal in Nevada since 1971, but only if it occurs within a licensed brothel, per the Nevada Independent. Las Vegas police spokesman Marcus Martin told the Las Vegas Review Journal in 2011 that even though the Gigolos cast referred to themselves as companion service and accepted payment prior to any sexual activity, the activities were still considered illegal. They can play the line as loose as they want to, semantically, but they're still violating the law, Martin said. However, because the transactions took place on camera and not in front of an officer, they weren't considered an arrestable offense. The law is funny. Where's Ash now? Armand has been serving up to 20-year prison sentence at a Nevada correctional center since 2021. Sharon says she wanted to interview him for Sin City Gigolo, but wasn't able to. He is definitely a strong presence throughout the series, which was very important, she told TV Insider. We were unable to interview him. That was more the prison call on that. We couldn't get cameras in, so it was really tricky. We felt by the end of it, we had enough where he maintained a strong presence throughout the series. In May 2025, people confirmed that Armand was named as one of the escorts who allegedly participated in Sean Diddy Combs' free calls, which prosecutors defined as elaborate and produced sex performances. Armand's alleged involvement came up during the first week of testimony in Combs' trial at the Manhattan Federal Court. This is a tragic tale, right? You have someone whose life is gone, the young lady who lost her life. You have this man who grew up, in the healing space, but apparently grew up seeing a lot of sex, for whatever that means. And he became a sex worker who probably was addicted. And this young lady came over and she's taking drugs with him. And next thing you know, she's no longer here. May she rest in peace. As far as this escort and this search record, he's where he belongs. But when they say when you open Pandora's box, you can't close it. When you tap into a dark world, probably 9 times out of 10, darkness is going to surround you on the left, the right, the up, the down, the front. You can't get out of it, but you got to want to get out of it. Listen, guys, and maybe, unfortunately, while he's in jail, maybe he will truly pull his life together if he ever gets out. I mean, 20 years, I don't know how old he is, but maybe he'll get out, he'll be 50 something, and maybe hopefully he can turn his life around. Listen, guys, chat with me in the comments, and when I get an opportunity, I will chat back. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that every time I upload a video, you will be notified. If you are a subscriber, welcome back. Everybody, thanks for watching. What do you think about this ex-Gigolo star? Supposedly one of the escorts that serviced Cassie and Diddy, taking the life of a friend. Those drugs are just a powerful thing, and they alter your state of mind. And when you're getting illegal drugs off the street, you don't know what that person really added to it or put into it, hoping you get extremely addicted and will constantly come back to them. And you don't know how those things are going to impact your body. So he lost his mind and took somebody's life. He's definitely where he belongs. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button. I'll see you on the next video.